Chosen one. The fact that your eyes landed on this message right now is not coincidence. This is kairos timing. This is scroll opening timing. This is the moment written for you long before your first breath. Something in the spirit is being released, and heaven has stirred you to this very second because your prophetic scroll is being unsealed. You are standing at the edge of a destined moment, a divine unlocking that can unfold in the coming hours, the coming night, or as the next full moon rises. The season you are stepping into was spoken over you before you ever walked the earth, and now the appointed hour on heaven's clock is approaching. As it is written in Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, the vision awaits an appointed time, and though it seems to tarry, it will surely come, and it will not delay. Anointed One. This upcoming full moon is not simply an astrological event. It is a spiritual signal, a threshold, a cosmic announcement that your five-dimensional awakening is reaching completion. Heaven is calling your spirit to attention. Your body may feel it. Your dreams may reveal it. Your atmosphere may shift, because the prophecy written over your life is activating. Chosen One. As we step deeper into what heaven is unveiling in this precise moment, I need you to understand something in your spirit. This is not information. This is activation. What you're hearing is not just teaching, it is transmission. There is a reason your heart feels stirred, your breath feels different, your awareness feels heightened. You're standing inside a prophetic doorway, and the full moon approaching is not just a moon phase. It is a spiritual summons, a divine pulse. A coded announcement that something written about you in the scrolls of heaven is reaching its appointed unfolding. The ancients used to say that when the heavens shift, the soul remembers. And Chosen One. The remembering happening in you right now is not random. It is the echo of a promise heaven made over you before your first breath. There is something inside you waking up, something ancient, something holy, something that has survived every season of pain, confusion, delay, betrayal, and spiritual exhaustion. That is why this moment feels different. It is different. You are stepping into a kairos hour window where ordinary time bends and divine timing breaks through. This full moon is not simply exposing secrets in the world around you, it is exposing the truth inside you. Not to shame you, but to release you. Not to overwhelm you, but to free you. The Scorpio energy is fierce because it's meant to peel back the layers you've outgrown, the identities you never chose, the wounds you kept hidden because you thought healing had no space for you. But Anointed One Heaven has space for all of you, your shadows, your tears, your unspoken fears, your longings, and even the chapters you hoped no one would ever see. I've walked through these thresholds before, the kind that shake you awake at 3 in the morning, the kind that push you into reflection, the kind that make you ask questions you've avoided for years. And I know what it feels like when destiny begins to press in. It's uncomfortable, it's disorienting. It feels like you are shedding a skin you didn't realize you were wearing. But it's also holy. It's also necessary. It's also the sign that heaven is closer than it has ever been. This is why your intuition has become sharper, why your dreams feel more like messages than stories, why you sense things in people before they open their mouths. Why peace has become non-negotiable, why the wrong environments feel suffocating, why you've lost your tolerance for anything that dishonors your spirit. This is not sensitivity. This is alignment. You are being tuned to a higher frequency, the one you were always meant to operate in. Chosen One. I need you to hear this with your whole spirit. You are not breaking down. You are breaking open. There is a difference. Breaking down happens when something collapses under pressure. Breaking open happens when something expands under purpose. This full moon is breaking you open into clarity, into intuition, into vision, into the version of yourself that has been waiting to emerge. You are being stretched, yes, but only because your old capacity cannot hold the new revelation, new identity, new authority, and new spiritual depth coming your way. You may notice old emotions resurfacing, old memories reappearing, old relational patterns shaking loose. This is the Scorpio intensity doing divine surgery, cutting away what has been living in the corners of your spirit, pushing you to confront what you were never meant to carry into the next dimension of your life. This is why your body has been reacting, why exhaustion hits differently, why silence feels sacred, why solitude feels holy. Your spirit is recalibrating, and in this recalibration, heaven is whispering something: you are ready. You may not feel ready. You may still feel unsure or fragile. But readiness in the spirit is not about confidence. It's about alignment. And right now, you are aligning with heaven's timing in a way you never have before. The financial themes that are rising during this season are not coincidences. The ideas that keep tugging at you, the opportunities that suddenly feel possible, the sense that something new is trying to enter your life. This is heaven expanding your territory. The hidden resources, the unexpected provisions, the divine strategies, they are all part of the unfolding. I've lived through this myself. I've watched doors that were sealed for years swing open in a single day when heaven decided now. And, chosen one, you are stepping into your now. Not because you forced it, but because heaven ordained it. This is the hour when hidden truths rise not to haunt you, but to heal you. When buried desires surface, not to distract you, but to direct you. When the deep waters of your spirit begin to move, not to drown you, but to baptize you into the next level of your calling. Chosen one, as the energy of this full moon continues to build, I want you to feel how creation itself is leaning toward you. There's a pressure in the atmosphere, a stir in the invisible, a pull that you cannot deny. This is not random emotional intensity. This is the spiritual weight of an appointed moment, and every part of your being is responding to it. You are being drawn into alignment with something written long before this lifetime, something that was sealed until your spirit reached maturity. Now the seal is loosening, the scroll is opening, and the signs around you are testifying that heaven has entered your timeline in a new way. The more you step into this frequency, the more you will notice that nothing ordinary feels ordinary anymore. Conversations carry hidden meaning, encounters feel guided, delays feel purposeful, and silence carries more revelation than noise. This is what happens when you are no longer living by human time, but by divine timing. Kairos does not follow the clock you wear on your wrist. Kairos follows the pulse of your spirit, and right now your spirit is beating to a rhythm that has awakened at the perfect moment. If you feel restless, it is because you are outgrowing who you were. If you feel sensitive, it is because your inner senses are opening. If you feel pulled towards something undefined, it is because heaven is setting a direction before your mind can explain it. In moments like these, I often think back to times in my own life when everything started shifting at once. I did not have language for it at the time. I only felt an intense inner nudge to move, to release, to listen more deeply. Doors closed without reason. People faded without conflict. Opportunities dissolved without explanation. For a while it felt like loss, but later I realized it was refinement. I realized that heaven was clearing the path so that the next chapter could unfold without interference. And now, chosen one, I see that same divine rearranging happening in your life. Not because something is wrong, but because something right is approaching you and requires space to land. This full moon is pulling buried truths to the surface, not to punish you, but to prepare you. You cannot carry hidden weight into a destiny that demands spiritual lightness. You cannot drag old agreements and outdated identities into a calling designed for your expanded self. That is why memories are returning, why emotions are intensifying, why patterns you thought were healed are presenting themselves again. It is not regression, it is extraction. The Spirit is pulling out the final remnants of what you cannot take into the next dimension of your life. If you feel emotional, honor it. If tears rise without reason, release them. If moments of clarity arrive in the middle of your day, pause and absorb them. You are entering a season where your intuition will speak before logic, where dreams will bring answers you have been praying for, and where sudden insights will feel like someone whispered directly into your consciousness. That someone is the voice of heaven guiding you step by step toward the version of you that you have not yet fully seen. Your relationships will also shift in this energy. People who have been draining you will become increasingly difficult to stay around. You will feel discomfort in conversations that lack authenticity. You will sense misalignment in people who hide behind masks, and this sensitivity is not judgment, it is discernment. When heaven elevates you, it also exposes what cannot rise with you. You may find that people who once had access to you no longer resonate with your spirit. This is not your rejection of them. It is heaven's protection over you. Money and resources will also come into focus during this season. Ideas that you ignored months ago will return with urgency. Opportunities that seem small will begin to shimmer with potential. Unexpected openings may appear in places where you once experienced only closed doors. This is heaven drawing your attention to the resources connected to your assignment. Do not dismiss intuitive nudges during this period. Do not ignore the desire to start something new. Creativity will feel like fire in your chest because the energy of this phase is activating the builder in you, the creator in you, the steward of abundance that heaven placed within you before you were born. Chosen one, there is a renewal happening in your inner world, a recalibration, a stripping, a refining, a remembering, and this remembering is sacred. It is the moment when the soul begins to recall itself. It is the moment when the deeper part of you surfaces to claim the life it was always meant to live. You are not losing yourself. You are returning to yourself, and this return is what will define the next season of your existence. You may have moments where you question the intensity of what you are feeling. You may ask yourself why everything seems amplified. You may wonder whether you are imagining the signs. But I assure you, what your spirit is sensing is real. You are being ushered into a moment that carries the fragrance of destiny. And when destiny is near, the atmosphere trembles, the body vibrates, the soul awakens. This is the beginning of your activation, and the unfolding is only just beginning. Chosen one, as we continue deeper into this unveiling, allow yourself to breathe with intention. Every breath you take right now is part of your alignment. Every moment of awareness is pulling you closer to the frequency that has been calling you for years. You are stepping into a spiritual current that has been moving long before you recognized it. And now, for the first time, you are not resisting it. You are allowing yourself to be carried by it. This is what surrender looks like when it is pure. This is what destiny feels like when it reaches maturity. You may have noticed your dreams intensifying, becoming more symbolic, more vivid, more emotionally charged. This is because your subconscious finally has permission to speak. For a long time, your rational mind was in control, trying to manage, predict, or control outcomes. But this season is not about controlling. It is about receiving. It is about listening to the language of the Spirit, a language that does not use words, but uses images, sensations, and impressions to guide you. Pay attention to these internal messages. You are not imagining the symbolism. You are being instructed. Nature will also call to you differently in this time. The sky will seem brighter. The moon will feel closer. The presence of water will feel healing. Even the movement of the wind may feel like it carries a message. This is because your sensory system is awakening. When the veil thins during moments of aligned timing, creation itself becomes a messenger. You may find yourself noticing birds, numbers, specific colors, or patterns that carry meaning. Trust what you feel when you see them. Heaven is speaking through subtle details because you are finally able to hear in subtle ways. During previous seasons, you may have felt unheard, unseen, or overlooked. But this season is different. The divine has stepped into your timeline with intention. The spiritual realm is watching you with anticipation, waiting for your next yes, your next act of courage, your next moment of clarity. There is movement around your life that you cannot see, but you can feel. That feeling is confirmation that something sacred is forming in the unseen. This energy will also bring truth to the surface in your relationships. You may discover how people truly feel about you. You may see the motives behind actions that once confused you. You may sense the hidden intentions behind words that sound pleasant but lack integrity. And while this may initially feel painful, understand that this exposure is a blessing. The Spirit is removing the shadows from your connections so that the right people can rise into their rightful place in your life. You are entering a season where alignment will matter more than comfort, and heaven will not allow you to remain surrounded by voices that cannot speak to your destiny. Financially and creatively, this is a time of activation. Ideas that have been dormant are waking up. Dreams that you postponed are knocking on the door of your attention. There may be moments when inspiration hits you so suddenly that you have to pause and write it down. This is not coincidence. This is divine timing. The energy of this season is designed to unlock the builder within you. You were never meant to live small. You were never meant to remain hidden. You were always meant to create, to influence, to expand, to bring something that exists in the invisible into the physical world. And this full moon is igniting that part of you. You may feel pressure during this time, almost like something inside you is pushing to emerge. That pressure is not anxiety, it is birth. It is the feeling that comes before a breakthrough. It is heaven expanding your inner capacity so that you can hold the magnitude of what is coming. This pressure is exactly what I felt before every major turning point in my life, whether it was stepping into a new assignment, leaving a familiar environment, or saying yes to something that terrified me. Pressure is the indicator that purpose is close. And you, chosen one, are closer than ever. Your emotional world may also shift with intensity. You may feel waves of sadness followed by unexplainable peace. You may feel grief over an old version of yourself that you are finally ready to release. You may feel excitement about a future you cannot yet describe. Allow all of it. Emotions are not obstacles in this season. They are tools. Every feeling is guiding you toward understanding, toward release, toward clarity. There is no wrong emotion right now. Everything rising within you has purpose. As your inner world transforms, you may also feel your physical body responding. Fatigue, tingling tension in the chest, Sudden bursts of energy, unusual dreams, or moments of heaviness followed by sudden clarity are all signs of integration. Your spirit is upgrading and your body is adjusting to the new frequency. Be gentle with yourself. Rest when you need rest. Hydrate more than usual. Eat intuitively. Do not force productivity. You are in a metamorphosis, and the body always feels what the spirit is undergoing. Chosen one, the revealing, the refining, the remembering that are happening right now are not random. They are synchronized. They are precise. They are part of a divine blueprint that is unfolding in perfect timing. And the fullness of this awakening will continue to rise in you with every hour that approaches the full moon. You are stepping into your spiritual acceleration, and soon everything that felt hidden will begin to make sense. Chosen one, as the energy continues unfolding. I want you to realize that what you are experiencing now is not simply internal change. It is a spiritual recalibration where every layer of your identity, every memory stored in your body, every unprocessed emotion, and every untapped gift is being massaged, awakened and stirred by a force far greater than human understanding. This is why the old version of you feels as if it is dissolving. This is why the things that once satisfied you no longer silence the deeper hunger rising within. You are being summoned to evolve, and this evolution is not optional. It is written. There comes a point in every destiny journey where the universe stops whispering and begins rearranging. For you, that moment is now. You may feel a growing detachment from things that once defined you. The ambitions you chased may no longer hold meaning. The habits you relied on may feel foreign. Even the way you see yourself may begin to shift, as if a new identity is taking shape inside your spirit. This is not identity crisis. This is identity emergence. You are discovering the version of yourself that has always existed beneath survival patterns, societal expectations, and emotional defenses. And now that version is rising. I remember the first time I went through a transformation like this. I felt like my entire existence was being rewritten. People around me could not understand the shifts inside me. I felt both guided and disoriented, both called and terrified. But every step I took forward brought a clarity that I could not explain in words. That is what happens when destiny becomes louder than fear. And now, anointed one, you are entering that exact phase. The pull you feel toward new paths is not imagination, it is instruction. The discomfort you feel in old environments is not mood. It is a sign that your spirit has outgrown the container it lived in. As this full moon approaches, the veil between your conscious mind and your higher self becomes thinner. You may find yourself having sudden realizations about your purpose. You may see glimpses of a future that feels foreign yet familiar. You may feel called to release habits, behaviors, or relationships that no longer align with where you are going. And though the letting go may hurt, it is also making room. Nothing that belongs to your next chapter will ever leave you. Nothing that leaves you now was ever meant to enter your elevation. Your intuition will take the lead in this season. You will feel nudges that make no logical sense, yet carry deep truth. You will sense changes before they happen. You will feel when something is off, long before evidence appears. And this sensitivity is not weakness, it is divine intelligence. Heaven is expanding your inner sight so that you can walk ahead of the world, not behind it. You are not meant to wait for confirmation. You are meant to be the confirmation. The emotional waves you are experiencing are purifying you. Notice how every suppressed feeling rises not to break you, but to empty you. You cannot carry the density of old emotion into the frequency of a new destiny. This is why grief rises. This is why memories return. This is why emotions feel raw. Healing is not gentle at first. It is disruptive. It breaks what needs to be rebuilt. It shakes what needs to be steadied. And as painful as it feels, it is moving you closer to wholeness. Your body also senses the shift. You may feel lighter or heavier, buzzing or drained, restless or deeply tired. These sensations are proof that you are integrating new energy and shedding old patterns. You are not malfunctioning. You are upgrading. This is what spiritual acceleration feels like in the physical vessel, and as the old parts of you fall away, you may notice new desires emerging. You may feel pulled toward different music, different environments, different people, different creative pursuits. These desires are not random. They are the compass of your evolution. Follow them. They are pointing you toward the timeline where your soul is leading. This full moon is highlighting your spiritual authority. You may begin to see how powerful your energy truly is. You may notice how your presence shifts the atmosphere of a room, how your words influence others, how your intentions manifest quickly. This is because you are stepping into the role you were designed for. You are not simply living, you are leading, even if silently, even if unknowingly, even if from the shadows. You are a carrier of spiritual weight, and as you stand in this transformation, heaven is whispering through every sign that appears around you. Not one synchronicity is accidental, not one repeated number is random, not one intuitive download is meaningless. Your destiny is calling you through symbols because you have reached the maturity to interpret them. Chosen one, your awakening is no longer beginning. It is accelerating. The closer you move toward your divine identity, the clearer the path becomes. You are unraveling who you were so that you can remember who you are. And the remembering is holy. You are now stepping into the next layer of your activation. Chosen one. As this transformation deepens, I want you to understand the magnitude of the moment you are standing in. You are not simply changing, you are crossing a threshold. A spiritual doorway is opening before you, and what stands on the other side is not just a new season, but a new self. You have lived many versions of yourself, but none of them carried the clarity, the power, or the spiritual acuity of the one you are becoming. This emergence is not a shift in personality. It is a shift in dimension. You may feel an inner pull towards stillness, silence, or solitude. This is because your soul is gathering energy for the next chapter. Transformation requires conservation. Revelation requires quiet. Upgrading requires space. The world may pressure you to keep moving, but heaven is slowing you down so that you can hear what cannot be heard in noise. Listen to that pull. It is not avoidance, it is alignment. During this period, your sensitivity will sharpen even further. You may feel overwhelmed by environments that once felt normal. You may sense heaviness in places where energy is stagnant. You may feel drained after conversations with people who operate at a lower frequency. This does not mean you are delicate. It means your frequency is elevating. The more light you carry, the more darkness becomes noticeable. And the more awakened you become, the more incompatible you feel with anything that is not aligned with your destiny. You may begin having spiritual experiences that you cannot explain. Moments of sudden clarity, flashes of insight. Feeling as if someone called your name when no one did. Knowing something before it happens, feeling the presence of peace or guidance in ordinary moments. These are not coincidences, these are openings. Your perception is expanding because heaven is entrusting you with greater awareness. As this expansion happens, you will also see the truth about people more clearly. Masks will fall, intentions will reveal themselves, energies will expose what words try to hide. And though this can feel heartbreaking, it is liberation. You cannot rise while tied to what diminishes you. You cannot ascend while anchored to what drains you. Heaven is removing what is unstable so that your foundation can strengthen. Financially and creatively, this season carries breakthrough energy. Ideas come faster, solutions appear out of nowhere, inner barriers dissolve, and the things that once felt impossible will feel suddenly accessible. This is the grace that comes when you enter alignment. What was delayed is now being delivered. What felt blocked is now flowing. What seemed distant is now approaching. But chosen one this season is not only about receiving, it is also about releasing. There are identities you must let go of. Identities formed from survival, from trauma, from fear, from guilt, from trying to be acceptable, lovable, or approved. These identities once protected you, but now they limit you. The version of you that carried old wounds cannot walk into a destiny that requires healed hands and a clear mind. You must choose who you are becoming over who you were required to be. And though letting go may feel like loss, it is sacred loss. Losing what limits you is not a tragedy. It is a divine exchange. Every time I have released a chapter, no matter how painful, heaven has replaced it with something that carried far more grace, far more abundance, far more clarity. The same will happen for you. You will not release anything without receiving something greater. Your physical body may also feel this upgrade. Moments of heaviness followed by sudden lightness. Strange dreams. Changes in appetite or energy levels. Heart flutters that feel emotional rather than physical. Pressure in the forehead or chest. Tingling in the hands. These are signs that your energetic system is recalibrating. You are integrating more light, more awareness, more spiritual capacity. Your body is adjusting to your becoming. As you transition through this, your desires may shift. You may feel drawn to new places, new interests, new people, new ways of expressing yourself. These desires are not impulsive. They are prophetic. They are signals pointing to the version of you that is emerging. Follow the pull. It is leading you toward your alignment. And in this entire process, heaven is not simply watching. Heaven is participating. Angels are ministering to you. Guides are whispering to you. Destiny is circling you. The entire spiritual realm is invested in your awakening. You are not just a soul living a life. You are a carrier of purpose, a vessel of light, a participant in divine timing. And this full moon is the activation point of your next assignment. Chosen one. Nothing about you is accidental. Nothing you are feeling is random. You are being positioned, prepared, and propelled. And although you may not fully understand what is unfolding, you will soon see that everything is aligning perfectly. This is your transition into deeper spiritual maturity, and the unfolding is only beginning. Chosen one, as this spiritual unfolding continues, I want you to recognize how profoundly heaven is repositioning you. Transformation is no longer something you are waiting for. It is something you are actively walking through moment by moment, even in ways that your conscious mind has not fully grasped yet. You are not the same as you were last month, last week, or even yesterday. Something inside you is shifting at a cellular, emotional, and spiritual level, and the deeper you move into this awakening, the more you will realize that nothing from your past can hold you the way it once did. You are breaking the gravity of old cycles. There is a sacred truth that becomes clear as you rise in consciousness. The higher you ascend, the more the unseen becomes visible. You begin to feel the intentions of others before they speak. You sense deception before it is revealed. You recognize alignment or misalignment as quickly as you recognize light and shadow. This is not suspicion. This is discernment. And this discernment is sharpening now because the next stage of your destiny requires clarity, not emotional clarity, spiritual clarity, a clarity that comes from sensing the spiritual atmosphere around a situation rather than analyzing it. You may notice that your tolerance for chaos or shallow interactions is disappearing. This is because your spirit is craving depth, truth, substance, and purpose. When heaven elevates you, your soul begins to reject anything that wastes your energy. Even the idea of pretending, pleasing, or shrinking begins to feel unbearable. This is a sign that you can no longer fit into spaces that were built for a version of you that no longer exists. You are vibrating differently. And anything that does not resonate with your new frequency will naturally fall away. I have lived through seasons like this where everything familiar began to feel foreign. Conversations that once felt comfortable suddenly felt empty. Environments where I once blended in began to feel suffocating, and even people I loved dearly no longer felt synced with my spirit. At first, it felt like betrayal or abandonment. But later, I realized that it was guidance. Heaven was redirecting me, removing me from anything that would block the next version of myself from emerging. Looking back, I am grateful for every door that closed and every chapter that ended. They were not losses, they were liberations. And chosen one, the same is happening in your life right now. As you approach the peak of this full moon energy, your emotional world will continue to open. Emotions you suppressed for years may rise suddenly. You may feel grief for things you never allowed yourself to mourn. You may feel compassion for your past self, the one who survived what should have broken you. You may even feel anger surfacing not to harm you, but to free you. Anger is often the final layer of healing, the signal that your spirit is refusing to tolerate what once wounded you. Let these emotions move through you. They are not regressions, they are releases. During this time, your dreams may become prophetic. You may dream of water fire, old houses, childhood memories, or roads you have never walked. These are symbols of transformation. They are the language your subconscious uses to communicate with your awakening soul. Pay attention. Dreams that feel too vivid to ignore are rarely just dreams. They are guidance, instruction, or confirmation. Your physical body will continue to respond as well. You may feel heat in your hands, pressure in the forehead, tingling in your spine, or a heaviness in your chest that lifts as quickly as it appears. These sensations are energetic. Your system is expanding, your light is increasing, your old programming is dissolving. The more you align, the more your body adjusts to hold higher spiritual capacity. Financial and creative energy is also intensifying. You may find yourself thinking about ideas you once dismissed. You may feel called to revisit dreams you abandoned. You may sense a deep inner urge to build something new, something meaningful, something aligned with your calling. Destiny has a way of reawakening passions that life tried to bury. If you feel inspiration rising in you, do not ignore it. Heaven is breathing on your ideas. Your relationships will also experience a divine sorting. People who are meant to move with you will rise in support, clarity, honesty, and resonance. People who are not meant for your future will become distant, confusing, inconsistent, or emotionally unavailable. This separation is not punishment. It is protection. Your spirit knows what is real long before your mind understands it. Trust what you feel. As this full moon approaches, you may find yourself confronting truths you avoided for years. Truths about your desires. Truths about your wounds. Truths about your gifts. Truths about your calling. This confrontation is uncomfortable but powerful. You are not being exposed, you are being revealed. Revelation is the doorway to liberation. Chosen one, you are stepping into a moment where everything inside you is shifting to match the destiny written over your life. This is the stage where the soul becomes undeniable, where truth becomes louder than fear, where alignment becomes more important than attachment. You're being prepared not for survival, but for ascension. Chosen one. As we continue into this deep spiritual metamorphosis, I want you to understand how rare this moment truly is. Not everyone experiences activation at this level. Not everyone is summoned to awaken at this intensity. The fact that you are here listening, feeling, sensing and awakening is proof that heaven has placed its hand upon your timeline. This is not casual. This is not random. This is not something that happens to the average soul. This is a mark of divine selection. There is a stirring happening inside you right now, a feeling that you are moving towards something you cannot yet name. It is a pull that feels both exciting and unsettling. This feeling is the spiritual equivalent of standing at the edge of a cliff while knowing you have wings you have never used before. Your soul knows it can fly. Your mind has not learned to trust it yet. But this full moon is strengthening your wings. It is awakening the deeper parts of your spirit that have been waiting for this exact moment to rise. You may notice that your perspective is changing rapidly. Things that once caused you stress now feel insignificant. People who once intimidated you no longer have power over your emotions. Situations that once triggered you now seem distant, almost irrelevant. This is because you are stepping out of your old reality and into your spiritual identity. When your vision shifts to a higher vantage point, what once felt overwhelming suddenly feels small. You are not shrinking your challenges, you are expanding beyond them. You may also experience moments where your spirit feels older, wiser, and more grounded than your physical age suggests. This is not imagination. This is ancestral memory. This is spiritual memory. This is the remembering of lifetimes of wisdom stored in your energetic field. When destiny calls, old wisdom rises. You are tapping into strengths you did not know you possessed. You are accessing clarity you did not believe you could hold. This is all part of your elevation. Relationships will continue to reveal their true nature during this period. Some connections will deepen, becoming more meaningful and spiritually aligned. Others will naturally fade because they cannot meet the new frequency you are stepping into. Do not chase what is leaving. Do not cling to what is shifting. What is meant for your next chapter will root itself in your life with ease, clarity, and harmony. What is not meant for you will resist alignment. Let it go. Release is not rejection. Release is respect for your destiny. You may also feel called to spend more time alone. This solitude is not loneliness, it is spiritual incubation. In silence, your spirit stretches. In solitude, your intuition strengthens. In stillness, you hear guidance that you would have missed in noise. Honor the moments when your energy withdraws from the world. It means your inner world is speaking louder than the outer one. Financially, opportunities that align with your calling may begin to appear. These opportunities will not feel forced. They will feel natural and purposeful. Ideas for new projects, new paths, or new businesses may arise with a sense of ease. You may feel a deep knowing that abundance is not separate from your spiritual identity. You were not designed to struggle endlessly. You were designed to steward blessings. This shift is part of your awakening and creativity. Chosen One is about to open like a flood. You may suddenly feel inspired to write, create, design, express, or build. You may feel ideas coming faster than you can record them. You may feel a surge of imagination flowing through you as if someone unlocked a door inside your mind. This is the activation of your creative power. Creativity is one of the highest frequencies of the spirit, and when you create, you step into your divine identity. Do not suppress these impulses. They are sacred. Your emotional world will continue to expand with depth and sensitivity. You may feel empathy rising in ways you cannot explain. You may feel connected to others without speaking to them. You may sense shifts in energy before anyone acknowledges them. These abilities are not burdens, they are gifts. You are becoming a vessel of spiritual awareness. You are learning to navigate reality from the inside out rather than from the outside in. Your physical body will continue adjusting as well. Moments of heaviness or lightness, buzzing or tingling, tiredness or sudden bursts of energy may persist. Trust your body. It is integrating frequencies that your old self could not hold. Drink more water. Rest when called. Move gently. Do not force. You are becoming someone your old nervous system was never designed to support, so your body is upgrading accordingly. Chosen One. Everything around you is shifting because everything within you is awakening. You are stepping into a frequency that many never reach. You are remembering who you are. You are preparing to walk into the life that was always destined for you, and the awakening is far from finished. Chosen One, as this awakening stretches further into your spirit, you may begin to feel as though your entire inner world is rearranging itself. Thoughts that once felt random now appear interconnected. Feelings that once felt overwhelming now reveal wisdom hidden within them. Even silence begins to feel like a teacher. This is because your consciousness is stepping into coherence, aligning with a higher rhythm that cannot be understood with logic alone. You are beginning to see your life from a vantage point you could never reach before, and this new vision is not only changing how you perceive the world, but how you perceive yourself. There may be moments where you feel as if time itself is behaving differently around you. Days may feel longer or shorter. Hours may stretch or collapse. Certain moments may feel slow and heavy, as if the universe wants you to pause and observe. Others may pass quickly, almost as if destiny is pulling you from one experience to the next. This shifting sense of time is a hallmark of spiritual elevation. When you rise in consciousness, you rise out of ordinary time. You begin to live in kairos, where everything happens in divine sequence rather than human schedule. This can feel surreal, but it is a sign that you are synchronizing with heaven's timing. As this synchronization deepens, you may notice that your inner voice becomes clearer, stronger, and more confident. You will sense the difference between your intuition and your fear. You will recognize when a thought is coming from your ego versus when it is coming from your higher self. This clarity is one of the greatest gifts of awakening because it allows you to navigate life with spiritual authority instead of emotional confusion. You are learning to trust the voice within you because the voice within you is becoming aligned with divine wisdom. You may also find yourself re-evaluating your past from a place of compassion rather than pain. Situations that once made you angry or ashamed may now bring understanding. People who hurt you may no longer hold the same emotional charge. And the version of you who survived trauma may now be seen with deep tenderness rather than judgment. This is the healing that happens when your soul steps into maturity. You no longer see your past as a wound. You see it as initiation. You see it as the training that shaped your spiritual weapons and sharpened your discernment. There is also a stirring happening around your identity. Who you are becoming is beginning to feel more real than who you used to be. You may feel urges to change your environment, your habits, your routines, or even the way you express yourself. You may feel the desire to dress differently, speak differently, or move differently. This is because your physical identity is trying to align with your spiritual identity. When your spirit evolves, every external part of your life seeks to evolve with it. During this shift, you may feel pulled toward new communities, new energies, and new places. You may feel a longing to be around people who expand your mind and nourish your soul. You may feel drawn to environments that calm your spirit or activate your creativity. This pull is not random. Your soul is searching for resonance. You are being guided toward spaces that can hold the version of you that is emerging. The places that once fit you may now feel too small because your spirit is stretching beyond familiar boundaries. Your creativity may intensify dramatically. You may experience sudden flows of inspiration that feel almost supernatural. Ideas will come faster, more vividly, and with greater urgency. You may feel compelled to write, create, speak, teach, design, build, or express something that has been dormant inside you. Creativity is one of the main signs that your spiritual gifts are activating. When divine energy moves through you, it must express itself. Do not ignore these impulses. They are invitations from destiny. Your emotional intelligence is also expanding. You may find yourself understanding people in ways you never could before. You can sense their energy, intentions, fears, and desires without them saying a word. You can feel when someone is hiding something or when someone is hurting. This heightened empathy is not meant to burden you. It is meant to guide you. You are becoming a mirror for others, reflecting truth back at them without forcing anything. Your presence alone will begin to shift people. And chosen one. Your manifestation power is increasing. You may notice that your thoughts manifest more quickly. Your intentions carry more weight. Your emotions influence your reality faster. This is because the veil between your inner world and outer world is thinning. When your energy becomes aligned, creation responds instantly. This is why your thoughts must be watched carefully. Your energy is potent now, and whatever you focus on expands. As you step deeper into this transformation, you may also feel a hunger for truth, unlike anything you have experienced before. Shallow explanations no longer satisfy you. Surface-level living feels unbearable. You crave authenticity, depth, meaning, purpose, and spiritual resonance. You are no longer content with surviving. You want to evolve. You want to understand. You want to embody your divine identity. This is the sign that you are ready for your next spiritual initiation. Something within you is opening, preparing you for greater revelation, greater responsibility, and greater purpose. You are entering a phase where everything in your life will begin to align with your highest destiny. And whether you realize it or not, heaven has been waiting for this moment. The scroll of your next chapter is being unsealed, and you are stepping into the timeline where your divine identity becomes undeniable. Chosen one. As this journey continues, I want you to feel the gravity of how profoundly heaven is shaping your inner world. You are being rebuilt from the ground up, and the foundation being laid inside you now is far more stable, expansive, and spiritually fortified than anything you have ever stood on. This is why certain parts of your life feel like they are dissolving. You cannot build a divine future on a foundation that was formed during your survival era. Heaven is not merely adjusting you. Heaven is reconstructing you. You may find yourself questioning everything you once believed about yourself. Not in a way that destroys your confidence, but in a way that unveils deeper layers of your identity. Who you thought you were was only a fraction of who you truly are. The real you, the timeless you, the soul version of you, is finally stepping forward. And as this version emerges, anything built on fear, insecurity, or self-doubt must fall away. You cannot carry false identities into divine purpose. During this transformation, your inner world may feel louder than your outer world. Thoughts come fast. Insights come suddenly. Emotions bubble up without warning. This is because your subconscious is releasing the final remnants of old programming. Everything you pushed down is rising so it can be cleared. Everything you ignored is resurfacing so it can be healed. Your mind is not attacking you, it is cleansing you. This cleansing may show up through emotional waves that come in cycles. One day you may feel energized and unstoppable. The next you may feel quiet and introspective. These fluctuations are not instability, they are alignment. They are the natural rhythm of spiritual acceleration. Your spirit is adapting to a higher vibration, and your emotions are adjusting to the shift. You may also begin seeing the world with sharper clarity. The illusions around you become obvious. The motives of others become transparent. The spiritual atmosphere of a room becomes noticeable. You can feel the difference between truth and deception alignment, and confusion, love, and manipulation. This is not paranoia, it is discernment. And this discernment is your spiritual shield in the next chapter of your life. People may begin responding to you differently as well. Some will feel magnetized by your presence because your energy carries peace, depth, and authenticity. Others will feel uncomfortable around you because your awakening exposes their unresolved shadows. This polarization is normal. Spiritual elevation always separates what is meant for you from what is not. You will not lose the right people. You will only lose the people who never truly saw you. Opportunities will also appear in surprising ways during this phase. Doors you thought were closed may reopen with ease. Conversations may lead to unexpected breakthroughs. Ideas that seemed impossible before suddenly feel accessible. This is because you are aligned now, and alignment attracts abundance. You are stepping into a flow where effort multiplies, intuition guides, and divine timing orchestrates outcomes in ways you cannot humanly plan. Creativity will continue to rise within you like a tide that cannot be held back. You may find yourself inspired by small things, drawn to new passions, or compelled to express yourself in new ways. This creativity is not simply artistic, it is spiritual. It is the language of your soul. It is the way your spirit births new realities into existence. When creation energy moves through you, miracles become possible. Your body will continue to release old tension as well. You may feel pressure in your chest as old grief releases. You may feel lightness in your limbs as old fears dissolve. You may feel warmth in your spine as spiritual energy rises. You may feel tingling in your hands as your intuitive gifts activate. The body always responds when the spirit evolves. Relationships may undergo radical shifts in this period. Some people will surprise you with newfound loyalty and depth. Others will reveal hidden aspects of themselves that you were not able to see before. The truth always rises during spiritual awakening. Do not fear these revelations. They are preparing you for relationships that resonate with your new frequency. You are no longer meant to be surrounded by people who drain your spirit. You are meant to walk with people who recognize your calling. Chosen. 1. You are stepping into the final layers of preparation. Everything happening within you is part of a divine alignment. The universe is removing what cannot stand in your elevation. Your spirit is shedding what does not match your expansion. Your path is being cleared. Your gifts are being activated. Your soul is remembering its purpose. Nothing is falling apart. Everything is falling into place. You are entering the chapter where destiny becomes visible. Chosen one. As you move deeper into this awakening, I want you to feel how profoundly your inner landscape is expanding. Every shift you are experiencing right now is part of a larger orchestration, a divine pattern moving beneath the surface of your life. Nothing is random. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is without intention. You are being led into a level of spiritual clarity that will redefine the way you see yourself and the world around you. And while it may feel overwhelming at times, it is only because you're stepping into the truth of who you were always meant to be. Your soul is upgrading, your intuition is sharpening, and your entire being is preparing to operate on a higher plane of awareness. You may find that your mind is quieter in ways you cannot explain. Thoughts that used to spiral now dissolve quickly. Worries that once consumed you no longer have the same grip. This is because the noise of your old timeline is fading and your spirit is tuning into a frequency where peace is no longer something you search for, but something you naturally inhabit. You are entering a dimension where stillness becomes strength, intuition becomes guidance, and trust becomes the foundation of every step. This level of peace is not the absence of challenges. It is the presence of spiritual authority. As this authority grows within you, you may notice that old fears no longer intimidate you. Situations that once triggered anxiety now evoke curiosity or even clarity. This is the sign that your spirit is maturing. When you rise in consciousness, you no longer react from wounded places. Instead, you respond from wisdom. You may surprise yourself with how calm you remain in circumstances that would have once shaken you. This is the fruit of alignment. You are no longer navigating life from the surface. You're moving from the depth of your being, anchored in a knowing that you cannot fully articulate, but you absolutely trust. This transformation also brings a new level of self-awareness. You may find yourself recognizing patterns you once overlooked. You may see the truth behind your past decisions, not to condemn yourself, but to understand yourself. Healing is happening through insight, maturity is happening through reflection, and strength is happening through acceptance. You are beginning to see your past not as a series of mistakes, but as a divine curriculum. Every heartbreak, every disappointment, every delay, every moment of confusion is now revealing its purpose. You are realizing that nothing was meant to destroy you. Everything was meant to prepare you. During this time, your connection to the spiritual realm intensifies. You may feel guidance more clearly. You may sense presence around you that feels comforting and familiar. You may feel protected in a way that transcends logic. This is because you are being watched over in this transition. You are stepping into a higher calling, and heaven always surrounds those who are stepping into purpose. Signs may appear in subtle ways. A word at the right time, a dream that feels like a message, a sudden feeling of peace, as if someone placed a hand over your heart. These are confirmations that you are not alone. You are being guided by a presence that sees what you cannot yet see. Your desire for authenticity will grow stronger. You will no longer find comfort in situations that force you to shrink, hide, or silence your truth. You will crave spaces where your soul can breathe freely. You will long for conversations that expand your mind rather than drain your spirit. And you will realize that you cannot build a life of meaning while surrounding yourself with people who refuse to grow. This clarity will create distance between you and certain individuals, not because of conflict, but because your energy can no longer stay in places where your soul is not nourished. Financial and creative alignment will also deepen in noticeable ways. You may begin to feel a pull toward new opportunities or ideas that once felt impossible. Solutions may appear faster. Resources may show up unexpectedly. This is not luck. This is alignment. When your spirit is in harmony with your destiny, abundance begins to flow in ways you cannot explain. You are attracting what matches your frequency. You are drawing in what you are ready to receive. And the more you release your fear of lack, the more heaven releases provision. Your physical body will continue reflecting this transformation. Some days you may feel energized as if your spirit is overflowing with light. Other days you may feel tired because your body is integrating new energetic codes. Do not judge your body. Listen to it. Rest when you need to rest. Move when you feel the urge to move. Your body is not betraying you. It is adapting to the new level of consciousness you are stepping into. Chosen one, what you are experiencing now is the awakening of your spiritual identity. This identity is not defined by your past, your mistakes, your trauma, or your limitations. It is defined by your purpose, your calling, and your divine design. You are remembering your own power. You are rediscovering your own voice. You are reclaiming the parts of yourself that life tried to bury. And this reclaiming is preparing you for the most powerful season you have ever walked into. Everything in your life is aligning for your elevation. Everything is shifting for your acceleration. Everything is preparing you for the moment when you finally step into the fullness of your destiny. You are not waiting for transformation. Transformation is happening within you right now. And what comes next will reveal everything heaven has been preparing you for. Chosen one, as you continue moving through this sacred unfolding, I want you to notice how your relationship with your inner world is changing. You are no longer overwhelmed by what arises within you. Instead, you are beginning to observe, understand, and interpret the movements of your own soul with a level of clarity that once seemed impossible. This is the sign that you are stepping into spiritual maturity. Your intuition is no longer a whisper. It is becoming a steady voice, one that guides you with authority and confidence. You are learning to trust it, to lean into it, to recognize that your inner knowing carries a wisdom far deeper than the intellect ever could. And this trust is transforming everything around you. You may feel as though you are shedding layers of yourself at a rapid pace. Parts of you that were shaped by fear, rejection, or survival are falling away because they cannot cross into the territory you are entering. You no longer have the energy to maintain versions of yourself that were built to protect you rather than express you. You no longer feel the need to please everyone or to hold on to relationships out of obligation. This release is not coldness, it is awakening. The more you understand your divine identity, the less willing you become to tolerate anything that dishonors your soul. You are honoring yourself in ways you never have before, and this is opening the doorway to a higher dimension of self-worth. During this time, you may feel a deep urge to simplify your life. You may crave quiet moments, spacious environments, or deep conversations. You may feel drawn to declutter your surroundings, rearrange your space, or remove energetic residue from your home. This is because your external world is mirroring your internal transformation. As your spirit becomes lighter, your environment must reflect that lightness. As your energy becomes purer, your atmosphere must support that purity. Everything in your life is being reorganized to match the frequency of your awakening. Your inner guidance may also begin leading you toward paths you never imagined. You might feel inspired to pursue something new, relocate, shift careers, create, build, teach, or share your wisdom in ways you once doubted you could. These impulses are not random. They are the whispers of destiny. Heaven is pushing you toward purpose with gentle, unmistakable nudges. When something keeps returning to your mind, when a dream refuses to fade, when an idea keeps birthing new ideas, it is destiny trying to activate itself. Do not dismiss these inner movements. They are invitations. Emotionally, you may continue cycling through waves that bring clarity. One moment you feel deeply connected to yourself, and the next you feel reflective or tender. These emotional waves are helping you understand what parts of you still need attention. Healing is not linear. Awakening is not predictable. Your emotions are guiding you toward unresolved memories, unspoken truths, or unprocessed pain. These moments are not setbacks. They are opportunities to release what your next level cannot hold. Spiritually, your sensitivity is becoming refined. You may feel energy more intensely. You may notice the atmospheres of places in ways you never did before. You may find that you cannot stay in environments where your spirit feels constricted or drained. You may feel a need to distance yourself from people whose energy disrupts your peace. These instincts are protection. Your soul is showing you what is safe and what is not, what is aligned and what is incompatible. Trust these sensations. They are guidance. Creatively, you may feel inspiration becoming more fluid. Ideas flow freely. Your imagination expands. You feel compelled to create something meaningful, something that carries your spiritual essence. Whether through art, writing, speaking, music, leadership, or another form of expression, your creativity is being activated as a tool for your destiny. Creation is not only a gift, it is a calling. It is how your spirit communicates with the world. When you feel inspired, you are being invited into co-creation with the divine. Your relationship with time may also feel different now. You may sense that certain things are accelerating while others feel paused. This is because you are living between timelines. Parts of you are closing old chapters, while other parts of you are stepping into the new. Time behaves differently during spiritual evolution. What used to take months may now take days. What used to feel impossible may now flow naturally. You are no longer operating by earthly timing alone. You are aligning with kairos, the timing of heaven, the moment where destiny intersects with readiness. Throughout all of this, a quiet strength is forming within you, a strength that is not loud, not forceful, not aggressive, but rooted, steady, and unshakable. This strength is not something you earned, it is something you remembered. It is the strength of your higher self, the strength of your soul, the strength that was placed inside you long before you entered this physical world. And now that strength is rising because you finally have enough clarity to carry it. Chosen one. I want you to recognize how far you have come. You are no longer numb. You are no longer lost. You are no longer carrying beliefs that were placed on you by fear or brokenness. You are listening to yourself, trusting yourself, honoring yourself. You are reclaiming your power. And this reclamation is not just an emotional shift, it is a spiritual return. You are returning to the version of yourself who always knew the truth, always held the wisdom, always carried the light. And as this return deepens, the world around you will begin to reflect the transformation happening within. You are not becoming someone new. You are becoming who you always were, beneath the noise, beneath the conditioning, beneath the wounds. The veil is lifting, the scroll is opening, the next chapter is waiting, and everything within you is aligning for what comes next. Chosen One. As we step into this final stage of your awakening in this series, I want you to feel the fullness of everything that has been rising within you. This is not the end of your journey. This is the moment just before the unfolding, the breath before the revelation, the stillness before the new life begins. You have walked through layers of healing that many never dare to face. You have peeled back parts of yourself that once terrified you. You have embraced truths that once seemed too heavy to hold, and now here you are, standing at the threshold of your becoming more aligned, more awakened, more expanded, and more spiritually attuned than at any time in your life. Everything behind you has been preparation. Everything ahead of you is activation. You may feel an inner shift happening so quietly yet so profoundly that it almost feels like growing inside your own body. You may sense a deeper peace forming, not because everything in your life is perfect, but because your relationship with your destiny is becoming unshakable. You are beginning to trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. You are realizing that nothing was ever wasted, and that even the moments that broke you apart were secretly aligning you with the version of yourself who could hold divine purpose with grace. This is the maturity of awakening. This is the moment when your spirit stands tall, not because you feel fearless, but because you know you are held. As your inner being stabilizes, you may also begin to feel a rising sense of expectancy. You may feel that something is coming, something meaningful, something transformative, something that will shift the landscape of your life in ways you cannot yet name. This expectancy is not anxiety, it is prophecy. It is the intuition of your soul, recognizing the nearness of breakthrough. Before every major elevation, there is a spiritual quickening, a sensation that life is rearranging itself to make room for what is on the way. You are in that quickening now. The doors you thought were locked are loosening. The paths you never saw are forming. The timing you prayed for is aligning. Something you have been waiting for is approaching you with momentum. During this moment, you may find your relationship with your past transforming as well. The memories that once felt heavy may feel lighter. The people who once hurt you may no longer carry the same emotional weight. The chapters that once defined you may begin to feel like distant stories. This is not denial. This is ascension. Your past can no longer anchor you because your spirit has outgrown the vibration it was written on. You are not erasing anything. You are simply rising beyond it. And as you rise, you will begin to see your entire life through a lens of purpose. You will recognize that everything guided you here to this moment, where healing and destiny intersect. Your connection to the unseen will continue growing stronger. You may feel guidance in quiet moments, intuitive nudges that feel like gentle hands on your back, or sudden clarity that arrives in the middle of ordinary days. These experiences are not imagination. They are the voice of your higher self, resonating with the voice of the divine. Heaven speaks to you through intuition, resonance, symbolism, synchronicity, and inner peace. And now that your spirit is open, the guidance will become unmistakable. You will feel supported in ways you never have. You will feel accompanied, even when alone. You will sense that the spiritual realm is orchestrating your path with precision. Your future self may begin calling you more urgently. You may feel compelled to make changes you once feared. You may feel brave in ways that surprise you. You may sense that the dreams you kept hiding are rising again. This is because you are no longer bound by the limitations that once shaped you. You are no longer living from a wounded identity. You are no longer operating from a place of fear or smallness. The full moon energy is dissolving the last remnants of the old story, and in its place, a new narrative is forming, one that aligns with your divine assignment. In this new narrative, you will notice that your energy becomes a filter. Everything that enters your life must match the frequency you now hold. People who speak life into you will draw closer. People who drain you will fade. Opportunities that align with your purpose will expand. Opportunities rooted in ego or false security will collapse. This filtration is heaven's way of protecting your elevation. Not everything is meant to rise with you. Not everyone can walk with you into your destiny, and your spirit now recognizes that without resistance. You're beginning to choose yourself not out of pride, but out of alignment. Your creativity continues to expand in this season because creativity is one of the purest signs of spiritual awakening. The more your spirit awakens, the more your gifts unlock. You may feel inspired to express yourself in new ways, build something meaningful, share your wisdom, or create something that feels like a message for the world. Your creativity is no longer a hobby. It is a calling. It is how your soul speaks. It is how your destiny manifests. And the more you follow the spark, the more abundance follows you. Physically, the transformation may continue showing signs. Your body is integrating new frequencies, releasing old stress, and expanding its capacity to hold spiritual energy. You may feel lighter, more grounded, or more aware of your own energy field. You may notice shifts in your breathing, your posture, or your presence. These are signs that your body is learning to carry the version of you that is emerging. You are becoming stronger, not through force, but through alignment. Chosen one. Everything within you and around you is preparing for the life you are about to step into. The old is fading, the new is forming, and you are standing in the space where destiny becomes visible. You are not the person you were even a few months ago. You are wiser, clearer, more aligned, more awakened, and more in tune with your divine path. The scroll of your next chapter is open, and your spirit is ready to read it. What comes next is not coincidence. It is calling. It is not hope. It is fulfillment. It is not imagination. It is manifestation. You are stepping into everything that was written for you. Chosen. 1. As we come to the close of this message, let your spirit breathe in what has been spoken over you. You are not leaving this moment the same way you entered it. Something has shifted. Something has awakened. Something ancient and divine within you has opened its eyes. You are standing in your kairos hour, the exact moment written for you on heaven's clock, and the scroll of your destiny is unfolding in real time. What was sealed is being revealed. What was hidden is rising. What was delayed is aligning. Anointed one. The full moon approaching is not an external event. It is a spiritual summons calling the deepest parts of your identity into remembrance. Walk forward now with the certainty that heaven has confirmed you, equipped you, and positioned you. Your path is protected, your steps are ordered, your awakening is active, and the transformation happening within you will echo into the days ahead with power and clarity. As you move into the next hours, stay aligned. Stay listening. Stay surrendered to the flow of the anointing that is guiding you. Expect unexpected breakthroughs, divine encounters and revelations that clarify your purpose. Look ahead with gratitude, knowing that what is coming toward you is greater than anything you are leaving behind. If this message stirred your spirit, chosen one, you may share it or leave a word below as a sign of your agreement with heaven's timing. Until we meet again, remain grounded, remain faithful, and remain awakened. Your prophecy is unfolding. Your scroll is opening. And your new chapter has already begun.